calling all veterans, union brothers and sisters, and supporters of the trades. This is the interview you can't miss. What happens when you take the grit, discipline, and teamwork of a Marine veteran and give him the tools to build a solid career in the construction trades? You get Gary LaBarbera Jr., Teamsters Local 282 business agent and trade advisor to helmets to Hardhats, empowering veterans through union careers. From service to strength, we're talking about real opportunities, real transformation, and real ways to give back. In this episode of the ULA Network, I sit down with Gary LaBarbera Jr. to dive into the life-changing impact of union careers on veterans, how Helmets to Hardhats is creating pathways to success, what is the Vets for Vets Community Construction Project, and how veterans are using their skills to give back to their communities. Tune in now, get inspired, and if you know a veteran looking for a career in the trades, send them this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's spread the word. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Union Labor Advisory Network. I'm Mike Fina. Today, I am extremely proud and privileged to be back again with Gary LaBarbera Jr., business rep from Teamsters Local 282, to learn a little bit more, to share a little bit more about his background, history, experience, and talk a little bit more about some of the veteran services within the trades and public sector unions today. So, Gary, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Great man, great friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love working with you.
Again, I can't thank you enough for all that you do. Thank you for your service as a Marine. I know your story, but for the audience, maybe you could share a little bit more about your background, how you got to become a Teamster, and your history within labor.
Sure, absolutely. So, as you know, and maybe some of your followers also know from previous interviews, I grew up in a union household. When I was in high school, I joined the Marine Corps. I did a couple of overseas deployments in the early and mid-2000s. Between deployments while I was in the reserves, I started driving a truck. When I came home from my last deployment, I joined the Teamsters, and the rest is kind of history there.
Right. And we talk about your background as a veteran, Teamsters,
right?
Helmets to Hardhats, some of the transitioning veteran programs that are going on. And some of the things that you've been tasked to with the teams is maybe elaborate a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm extremely honored and privileged. About a year and a half ago now, I was asked if I would be involved in the Helmets to Hardhats program with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters as a trade representative, and I obviously graciously accepted and humbly accepted it. So I work with the Helmets to Hardhats program with the Teamsters locals across the country to do everything we could do to try and get veterans into the Teamster ranks, veterans, transitioning veterans, anybody that's looking to better themselves with a union career.
Yeah. And just learning about a lot of the Teamster career opportunities and looking to, it's different than a typical, construction trade. Yes. Where you may go through a 4-year apprenticeship and then, and then move on where, if you have your CDL license, or there's opportunities within the Teamsters today to actually, that's an opportunity to go to the Teamsters to understand and maybe take opportunities to get your CDL license as well, right?
Correct. Yeah. Every local, every region has different ways that they go about it. But if you have a commercial driver's license or you don't have a commercial driver's license, but you're driving, delivering building materials for the construction division, every local, every region does things a little bit differently. There are some apprenticeship programs across the country in different areas, and there's some job training programs like we have here in New York. Where if you are a member and let's say you have a Class B driver's license and you want to upgrade your driver's license, you get a Class A driver's license, maybe a boom certificate so you can operate a boom, a crane off the back of a truck, forklifts, all different types of things that are involved with delivery of materials. And
these are, getting these particular certifications all helps enhance your career, obviously earnings potential as well.
Absolutely. Everything you can do to make yourself more employable, we try and do everything we can do to give the opportunity out there for everybody to better themselves and give themselves more opportunities to work and earn more money.
And is there a cost to be able to get those CDL licenses if you go through a Teamster program, or you reach out to the training center at the IBT 282 or another local like yours?
Absolutely not. If you're a member and you want to upgrade your driver's license and get more certifications, that's what our job training trust fund is there for. We do that for the members, and there's no expense to the member.
That's incredible.
It is, yes. That's the union difference.
That's definitely the union difference. And if we step back, and again, you being a veteran, in some of the veteran programs that are facilitated within the trade, some of the veteran clubs that you see within, obviously we're in the New York market, some veteran clubs that are really creating different programs or making sure that veterans are getting those particular services that are entitled to them through the Department of Veteran Services or other associations. Some of the things that we want to obviously work collectively, or we're trying to enhance and educate the market on what these services are all about. As we got connected with the Department of Veteran Services, and there's a program called the Joseph P. Dwyer Grant, and one of those initiatives was community construction projects. And us being involved in the building trades and understanding the volunteerism that's done across all trades, supporting their communities, and then having veterans that are in a 4-year apprenticeship to be able to support and serve other veterans is a program that obviously we want to enhance upon and to build out, and maybe we can elaborate a little bit more on the Vets for Vets community construction project that we're going to work on collectively.
Absolutely. I'm very excited about this because this is, like I've said to you before, and I think in our last interview also, that a lot of veterans come out of the service, they don't know what they want to do, right? They're looking for opportunity, and they don't know a lot about the trades. Like I always say to everybody, you get somebody that's a machine gun operator in the Army or the Marine Corps, that's not a very transferable skill, being a machine gun operator. And as you're coming out, you want opportunity, and you need opportunity, and that's what the trades gives you, and it gives you that same sense of camaraderie and the opportunity out there. A lot of these individuals, the veterans that come into the trades, they want to give back also, right? And Vets for Vets, and using the Joseph P. Dwyer Grant, to try and give back to the veteran community. These veterans that came in through Helmets to Hardhats, they were given an opportunity, and the people were there to support them, and they want to give back. So this is something that's great for them to give back to the community, using the skill and the trade that they're now learning in their apprenticeship program, or have learned in the past in their apprenticeship program.
Yeah. And through the ULA's foundation and the fundraising efforts that we have to help support some of the supplies initiatives, collaborate with the trades and some of the public sector unions that has the manpower that wants to do this volunteer work. And as we talked about, I sit on a pretty sizable board with BVSJ that houses over 100 veterans in some Section 8 properties. These properties need remediation.
Right.
No veteran should be living in substandard housing, have access to all these particular services, but then go home to something that's not, standard or below standard.
Right.
And, these particular programs, as we try to organize with, some of the veteran clubs, the locals, and the Building Contractors Association to have some of the access to this is really exciting as we start to put that program together, identify some of these projects that need remediation, and then deploy the teams that we can to put these properties in better place. And also showcase a lot of that work, because this is a great volunteer work that's going and supporting our community, and obviously beautification of communities through volunteer work from unionized construction organizations, and again just working in collaboration to support better lives.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think you'd be very hard pressed to find anybody nowadays that if you say, hey, we have an opportunity to help a veteran, they're going to say no. You'd be hard pressed to find somebody that would say no. Everybody wants to help across the board, in my opinion. Again, especially people that have family members that are veterans or were veterans themselves. And something like this with Vets for Vets, as you're saying, you get the associations, the contractors, the individual members, construction workers, whomever it is, project managers, superintendents, everybody across the board, they want to help. So to have, putting together what you're putting together, to find these veterans out there that need the help in remediating their properties, to put it all together in one thing to change somebody's life. And, again, if they're in substandard living conditions, and we could do that by a little bit of volunteer work, and some people that are dedicated to helping, I mean, that's a wonderful thing. And again, I'm super excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, and I can't thank you enough, again, because I'm a guy from Brooklyn. I didn't go through the military. My father was a veteran, and to see the support and service that my family got when my father passed during COVID, that's that moment where I want to give back. I want to support people that have supported me in the worst of times. And what's important in life is to support and serve others. And I talk about this all the time. My Rotary Club, their motto, service above self.
Right.
Military, you're serving, supporting others collectively, and then labor follows that same suit. So transitioning veterans into a trade, it's almost a seamless because you work as a team. And I've seen it. It's like, and they have these skills that they've already obtained through their military experience, and now they're working in a team with other people to support development of communities, construction projects, make a good living, use their GI Bill.
Right.
And for us to know that stuff, it's our job to help educate others on what these careers look like, and be able to take care of take advantage of the services that are available to them through the VA or other associations to support their quality of life, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So these are the things we want to do, and I can't thank you enough for being, an advocate, part of everything what we're trying to do, because there's power in numbers, and I'm just so fortunate, one, to know you through 282 and the executive board, which have been family to me as well. And then we're just meeting other people of like mind, like Marty Glendon that we met earlier today, and his brother, and the Veterans Club for Local 3, and other organizations and associations that once we tap them in, like you said, you'd be hard-pressed to see anybody that doesn't want to help. Just talking to people, it's like, where do I go? When do I need? Just let me know the date, and they're like ready to go.
Right.
And it's so... it's a beautiful thing. It's exciting. It's like you just want to get it done right, and then have that to be able to replicate on a multiple, and have that legacy for us once we have this thing put together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, very, very exciting. Super happy to be a part of it. And again, everybody wants to help. And this is a way for people to help, and people in our industry and people that we deal with on a regular basis. To bring them all together, there's a lot of skill out there. We have a lot of skill that we have accessible to us, and the desire to help and give back, because everybody, most of the people that we deal with, we're fortunate enough to have these opportunities.
Right, and again, we're looking at all these different things and identifying properties, and if it's starting, it's a property rehab or it's a handicapped accessible ramp. Once we have these things identified, we could put that into a pipeline, understanding some of these costs and initiatives, and then really put this is how many man hours we're put into place, how much services, donations we're put into place, and then really round that up to say this is what labor's doing to support others, support veterans, support communities, support economic development. And again, it's really, for me, it's a really exciting time. It's just harnessing all the manpower and the intellectual capital and the contacts.
Absolutely. I was talking with Marty earlier before he departed, and just both of us complimenting you and all you do and the videos you put out there, and showing the individuals that are going through the apprenticeship programs, whether it be a veteran or somebody that applied and was accepted. The difference that the trades makes in people's lives is incredible, and the stories aren't always out there, except on a very, very local, small scale level. And you're putting it out there, which I got to say, it's a great thing. It's extremely appreciated. And watching some of the things that you post and the interviews that you do, and seeing how the trades and apprenticeship programs really change people's lives. Some of your interviews, people were in really bad positions, and they got into an apprenticeship program, whether it be helmets to hardhats, or whether it be just from an application process or skill bridge or whatever it was, construction skills. Some of these apprentices and members, the tears are in their eyes when they're thinking about where they were to where they're at now. Really incredible.
Yeah, these are life-changing opportunities.
Yeah.
And this is my career, my life now. You look at the vocational high schools that are there now, and the resurgence, or I guess the excitement, and we're in it. So I'm seeing that evolution. And again, to go to a high school and you're getting like a 15-year-old that could frame a house and do more things than I could ever do, and knowing that they have that skill set and that's the next generation, it's for me it's exciting to see.
That is.
And we talked about this a previous interview as well, as they could be a first-year apprentice and then they're in the second or third year, and you could just see the skill set and how far they've come.
Right.
And they're not even fully out there.
Right.
But for veterans too, to be able to use that GI Bill and then get paid as apprentice, it's like there's a really great financial opportunity in that regard.
It really is. What a great opportunity the trades are for veterans. Obviously I'm a huge advocate for veterans, and to see that again, whether it's a transitioning veteran or a veteran that's been out and now they're trying to start a new career. I mean, in my opinion, there's no better path to take. And some people you see too. Reinvigorates their life to be back part of a small, tight-knit group of people and have that camaraderie, because it could be tough for some people transitioning.
Brendan Loftus, was one of our honorees, working, through Local 1, and the work that he's done, some of the content that he's been, being able to push out and the lives that he's been able to save. These are people that need to be recognized and celebrated for their work,
I mean, literally, someone like him, Brendan, literally saving lives. From his experiences and what he's doing and the information he's pushing out, literally saving lives and transforming lives. What more can you say about that? That's
well,
incredible.
and again, he's come from where his life was in completely dark times.
Right.
He could not be here today. I mean, if it wasn't for the services and his union and the support that he was able to get. So he's another, role model,
true inspirational
story and person you want to surround yourself with and support some of those particular initiatives the best way we can, and I know collectively we're going to be able to do that. And again, I wanted to get you on today just to solidify and I guess pound down what we're going to be able to do collectively and just organize the troops to make the Vets for Vets Community Construction Project a real success. And utilize those services from all these associations. Really, it's just like collecting them and making sure that they're accessible and deployed in the best possible way.
Absolutely. Transforming lives.
Transforming lives. But I just want to thank you for taking the trip, coming to the Long Island Federation of Labor today.
My pleasure.
Sitting down with me.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mike.
Again, thanks for everything you do, brother.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, man.
All right.
I'd like to thank all our sponsors for helping to build and promote the ULA Network. It is because of you that we're able to support, educate, and promote informative content relevant to labor. Please subscribe, like, and share our channel and media. I'd like to thank you all for your support.